Hi, I'm Brian O'Rourke. Welcome back to another episode of the Modern Salon Experience Behind the Scenes. Once again, joined by Michele Pelafas, our partner in creating this experience. Michele, let's talk about another really important area of any full-service salon, a great revenue center, a great client experience center, and that would be an area where you provide these ancillary treatments. Tell me a little bit about what some of those standard treatments might be, what equipment needs would that create, and then talk to me about the atmosphere of this room.
Right, so we're referring to the treatment room, which is really an essential part of any full-service salon. And in these treatment rooms, we're seeing services such as facials. I'd say the key ones are the facials and the massage and the waxing. Another beauty component that we're seeing quite a bit of is the lash extensions and the brows. And that's a little bit part of the waxing too, but we're also seeing some dedicated areas to some of these services. But it's important to get these treatment rooms right. And there's so many components to having the right room size, for being able to navigate and move around the room, to move around the chair, to be able to effectively perform these services. And everything from flooring and storage and furniture and equipment, as well as lighting, plays a big part of that.
Now, you mentioned flooring. That's one thing we really haven't touched on. So whether it's this room or throughout the salon, what trends are we seeing?
So when I talk to my clients about flooring, I always talk about advantages and disadvantages. Every single floor has an advantage and a disadvantage. So it's really weighing those advantages against the disadvantages to make the right decision. And so some of the things that we're looking at when we're making flooring decisions is acoustics, cost. You know, we're seeing glue down floors versus floating floors, and stain resistance, water resistance, comfortable, right? We want the floor to be comfortable. We talked about client comfort, but we also talked about the service provider and how comfortable they are. And so you want a nice floor, something that's comfortable and not hard. So it's weighing all of those advantages against the disadvantages to make the right decision.
Is there one material, you talked about some installation methods. Are there some materials we're seeing that are popping up more and more?
I'd say probably the most popular floor that we spec and do in probably 85% of our environments is the luxury vinyl flooring. That's what we're sitting on right here in our showroom. It's a glue down luxury vinyl. It replicates wood beautifully, but at the same time it's quiet. It's can be cost effective, and you can create a great look for little investment.
What about color trends in flooring? You know, we saw in the residential market dark floors for a while, and then that kind of faded out. So where are we at in terms of?
You know, it's interesting. Our customers are very particular about colors of flooring, right?
Okay.
They're very conscious about, especially in colder areas, tracking in. It seems to be a big point of contention with our salon owners who live in the colder areas, is tracking in the snow and the salt. Yeah. And the darker floors will show that. But at the same time, the darker floors hide staining and color and that sort of thing. So it's really interesting to find that balance. But I'd say color trends are a little bit, I'd say in general, are more of a medium tone. Nothing too light, nothing too dark, something warm, something practical.
It's interesting, so coming back to colors as well, now we haven't really talked about wall or paint color. We saw again in residential, there was that gray and grayish and things like that. What are we seeing in terms of Pantone colors?
We're seeing a lot of warm, creamy whites as a standard, beautiful warm grays. I'd say definitely the trend is towards warmth. And so whether it's a gray, whether it's a white, we're seeing darker colors. In fact, you saw that in a few of the other rooms, is the darker ceiling.
On the ceiling.
The contrast on the ceiling, and that's all a paint color. And so, I'm not one who sort of rides the waves of color trends. We just pick colors that really work to promote the brand, and that could be a pop of color on an accent wall, but we're very, very particular about color, and whether it's white, gray, beige, it's all about what fits their brand and adds to the aesthetic value of the space.
tell me about wallpaper. Again, looking at residential.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up.
We've seen this resurgence in wallpaper.
I love wall cover, right? Oh yeah, we're seeing, and you know what wallpaper does, or wall coverings do for a space, is it adds texture, it adds warmth, it adds interest. It's such a trend right now. I'm so glad it came back. And so we're seeing that, for example, you know, here in this space, even if it's just an accent wall, we're seeing wall coverings all over. Even on the ceilings.
That's right, yep. Now, it's not the wallpaper we used to know, though, right? Applications have changed, textures have changed. Talk about that. I mean, is it just up there forever and impossible to get down? Are we seeing removable wallpaper applications?
There's so many ways to install wall coverings. There's the peel and stick, where it comes right off. What we typically specify is commercial grade, so it's very washable and very cleanable. Boy, back in the day, commercial grade wall coverings was nothing to write home about. But today, commercial grade wall coverings have beautiful patterns and textures. It's a way to add an organic element to the space. It's a way to add color.
Sure.
And so today, wall coverings, there's so many opportunities.
If you had a choice personally in your space to do a paint color or wallpaper for a pop, what would you do?
I would do a wall covering,
Wall
absolutely.
covering. Interesting. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.